even talk about which books we're talking about.
Huh?
I guess we didn't even. We'll find out. Hopefully, hopefully not. None of these books are the same. So
I think we pretty much like avoid that, so
I
not too
agree,
worried
but
about
I'm
it.
just saying, like,
Yeah.
all right. Hmm, interesting. What the frack? Okay.
All right.
Nope.
Says we're live. We live. So
Yeah, yeah. I was just trying to. I'm gonna bring it up on my phone so I can see all the comments because I can't do this one screen. Sorry, people.
oh yeah, you can. We just don't want to give it a try.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, yeah. So, hi everybody. Welcome to the podcast.
Yep. Welcome, welcome. No intro today, folks. No intro today.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's one of those things where we just can't do that today. So, all right, hold on. Live chat open. Come on. Wow,
There we go.
that sucks. Oh, okay, there it is. It opened. All right, cool. All right, we're back, sort of. So you guys are probably wondering why we're having such a hard time this week. Well, that's because my laptop shit the bed. So until next Tuesday when the new one comes in, we're gonna. My entire life is fucked. It's a great week for that to happen. You know, Colin coming.
Uh, get it out of the way this week, and then next week will be fantastic. That's the way you
So
have to look at it, John.
that's the way I'm looking at it. I'm trying.
Yeah.
So, here we go. So let's talk about some stuff coming up. This Sunday is the Cranberry Geek Flea Market.
Is it Sunday or
Cranberry.
Saturday?
Ah, you know what? That's a great question. I'm pretty sure it's Sunday though.
I
Let
thought
me
you
look.
said Saturday.
You know what? Hold on. Let me look. It might. It's very possible that it is Saturday, and because I think we may have changed it. 28th from 12 to 6, Sunday the 28th,
Sunday. God
12 to 6.
damn it.
What? Can you now not go?
No, I can still go. It's still not an
Okay.
issue. I'm just saying, like,
Okay.
if you know me and my OCD, I like to plan. And when plans do that, my irritation scale starts ticking up and I start losing my you know what, guys. So, we all have that. We all get that. Not going to plan. Urgh. So, okay.
Right.
As you can see, I am prepping. What you see behind
I was
me
gonna
is
say,
part
like,
of my.
is that the stuff behind you? Is that part of the deal?
Yes, it
So,
is.
okay.
So,
So, yeah, I'm hopefully Saturday. Not only will I get to mow my lawn because it needs it, I will go through some other boxes of shit and find some cool shit to sell. I don't know what I'm gonna have yet, um, but I'm gonna have some stuff. Stuff. Anyway, so after that,
well,
um,
we're
literally,
it's one
like,
step at a time here.
right after that, make sure you guys check with your local NDC about what their Memorial Day hours are because everybody's different. Most of the stores are closing between 5 and 6, and most of them open around 11 or 12. So just make sure you guys check it out and ask because they're all going to be different. Don't assume. You know what that does. So, uh,
No, we don't have any Memorial Day sales, correct?
correct. We are just close early. That's our sale, closing early. The following weekend is the Big Shoe, Three Rivers Comic Con. We've been talking about it a lot.
Yes.
We're going to talk about it even more next week with guest Comicsburg.
Yep.
I can tell you that we are approximately like 20% ahead of where we were last year on pre-sale tickets.
Nice. Oh, hi,
So-
buddy.
So, all right. So,
Yes.
yeah, I figured I was making a joke. So,
Our guest
anyway.
host, folks.
right. I shit, I lost my train of thought is what I did. Damn it.
See what you do?
It's gonna I'm so just
Okay,
tired.
we got here.
Anyway.
I'll help you out. Cosplay karaoke.
Oh yeah, we have that. I forgot about cosplay karaoke. Next Wednesday at the Hard Rock cosplay karaoke, 7:00. We are spinning the wheel of death. It's gonna be awesome. Remind me tomorrow that we need to make cards for that and make sure they work in the wheel.
Yep.
So what we did was we loaded the 64 most popular songs in a hopper, and we numbered each one, and we're just gonna spin a wheel, and that's the song you sing. So you have a 1 in 64 chance of getting the song you actually want, which is crazy.
Still better
If you
than
only
the
want
lottery.
one song, yeah. It's like playing Magic, and as people sing songs, we're gonna pull them out of hopper. Like you're not gonna get the same song twice, or two people aren't gonna get the same song. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're very excited to do that. It's our last one before the show. But dude, I have so many people telling me how excited they are for the con this year, and it's awesome. I was watching people shop the con racks at Ohio and Cranberry this week.
Mhm.
I imagine somebody bought stuff off the Mills rack too.
Well, I know
It's nuts.
I know some of the books have been disappearing because I have seen the holes. So
Well, don't count the ones. Don't count the ones that I took for
Okay.
the interview I did that I used as samples.
Sorry.
Alright.
If you yeah, he's playing and clawing me while he's
He's clawing your balls.
well no, my hand. My hand.
Oh, okay.
There,
I
go
was
play
like,
with your
Jesus,
toy.
Awful.
Yeah. I even prepared, if you could see the
I see
purple
that.
roots. This is my hairdresser set used with she calls Galaxy. So I have Galaxy Mohawk for the con. So
Nice. I have to decide if I'm buying a new pair of camo shorts or not, because my camo shorts that I've worn at literally every single one have finally ripped, and I don't know if I want to.
just get a patch. Go
No.
punk rock and patch it.
No, not okay. So, but I did today in Elwood find the original cloth banner for the show that we bought in 2019 for the show at the Macy's that we lost forever. So we're gonna look at that, and we're gonna basically have two places for photo ops this year. We're gonna have the vinyl banner and then the cloth banner. So if you want to be in the for the costume contest, you'll use one. If the other one will be in a more general area where people can just take the photo, it'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, super excited. Lots of great guests coming. It's gonna be super cool. Make sure you guys check it out. Get your tickets now. Remember, the prices do go up at the door, but only a little bit, $2 ish.
Yeah.
So it's not a big increase, but they will go up at the door. So make sure you do that. And then after that, now comes the fun.
Yep.
So after that, we have two announcements. First one is they're both guest signings. The first one is at the Mills, June 25th.
Fifth.
It's a Sunday from 1 to 4. Mick Foley, Cactus Jack, aka Dude Love, aka Mankind, will be at the Mills from 1 to 4. He needed a place for a signing for the commemoration and celebration of Hell in the Cell against the Undertaker from 25 years ago, where he fell from the top in through a table and then onto a bunch of tacks. It was crazy. I remember being in high school and watching it. It was nuts. And then watching it a lot again in college.
I think it's ranked as one of the most memorable matches in modern history.
I think
up
it's
there.
I think of Hell in the Cells, I think it's in top 3 as well.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that
but I
one.
would bet you it's probably in top 10 matches, period.
Yeah,
So
like of any era, not just Attitude Era or modern era. It's if you've seen it, you've seen it.
right.
My sad story of that is I could have saw it live, but like every teenager, I was working a fast food job and my boss was a prick, didn't give me my day off that I requested, and I had to work that day.
And you probably didn't make enough money to buy the ticket. So whatever.
Well, I had the tickets. That's the sad part. Is I had them.
That's even worse.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's even worse.
All right. So that same weekend, also don't forget that same weekend, that day before, is the customer appreciation sale. So lots of stuff on sale. Check out our website for more details. The Mick Foley stuff is not on the website yet, but it will be soon. And then
Facebook.
that
It's on our socials.
same weekend, that whole weekend is the warehouse sale. Oh, sorry, I'm really tired. But that's the warehouse sale. It's gonna be nuts. It's everything it was there before, plus a little bit. But we're gonna also do a $300 box sale. So come check it out. By the way, the customer appreciation sale deals do not apply to the warehouse at all. Like at all. Like that building is like kryptonite. When you walk inside, it's like kills everything. Trust me, my soul knows.
We repeat. We will repeat this again. Your customer appreciation does not extend to the warehouse sale.
All right. Now we're gonna talk. Oh wait, sorry, we have the other enough. So then, way out in August 5th. We haven't officially announced this yet because I'm waiting to get all the art cleared by the signee, or signer, and Stranko and Cranberry. But that's going to be a ticketed event. We're still working out that details too. But just so you know, maybe want to hang out in Cranberry in August. Just saying. All right, now we can talk some comics.
Okay. Well, should we give our condolences for the couple of people we've lost this week already? Pop culture relevance. We lost Ray. What is his last name? Stevens.
Or
Stevenson. For those who don't remember, he played Punisher in Punisher Warzone. He was
best one of Punisher in the movies.
He was one of the 3 in the Thor movies.
Volstagg.
And what was it? He's also in the upcoming Ahsoka TV series too.
I can't remember who he's playing. He's playing a Sith Lord.
Yeah.
So it was really sad. Volstagg died.
He's only 3 years older than my wife, and I'm like, wow. I was like,
yeah, right.
Damn. And then yesterday we lost Tina Turner, probably one of the best rock and roll vocalists of our time.
This is
So
what happens when you hitch a ride on a riverboat. And maybe now she'll finally know what love had to do with it.
yeah.
But
So I just wanted to put that out there.
I joke, but I really do.
Yeah.
Tina Turner.
I have already seen some pretty negative stuff about like Tina Turner, and I'm like, if you're being negative about this, I was like, you obviously have some serious issues that you need to go to see some help.
Or have like never ever watched like Mad Max.
Yeah. Or have heard any of her songs ever.
Right? Yeah, you just live in a fucking under a rock. Yeah. So.
Okay.
All right.
Now we could go into
So
comics
comics.
here.
All right. My first book. Now I'm going to tell you, I read one from this week, one from last week, and then the other one is just an honorable mention because I didn't have time to read a third book.
Okay.
So my first book, Ghost Rider,
Okay.
Danny Ketch, #1, right?
And that was from last week. That was the last week one, right?
Yeah, that was the last week book. It starts out like talking about Cypress Hills in New York. He saved some people from a demon guy who was supercharged from a demon. The broker for that demon is still trying to get other people to be that crazy. You kind of get a nice backstory of the pendant of vengeance that gives him his powers, which is different than how Johnny Blazes works. The broker finds a couple other people. Danny goes home and finds Johnny in his kitchen with his mom hanging out, and they talk about Ghost Rider-y stuff. The two guys the broker gave powers to merge into one giant weird mutant super freak. And the Ghost Rider's gonna watch us all go down, and Danny turns into a Ghost Rider and saves the day, and Johnny doesn't actually turn into a Ghost Rider, which was kind of weird for me. But I was okay with it. You get kind of see what that guy looks like, and then they tell the story of how a brief story of how that pendant came to be on that bike. I really dug the story. Like, it's Anthony Mackie. Or I'm sorry, Howard Mackie. But the art was like hit or miss. It like sometimes it was like real good. Like this opening splash page is freaking awesome, right? But then like when he draws like Danny and there's like I'm gonna try to find it. There's like a page where it's like Danny and Johnny sitting at a table and they just look awful. Yeah, like this stuff. Like
So he has hard time with real life.
I don't know if it's real life or it just happens to be those dudes, but it was just weird. And I'm like, meh, I don't know. Like I want to read it for the story, but if the art's gonna keep throwing me off, we'll see. But when he's in Ghost Rider form, he's fine. So I guess we'll see.
Okay. Well, I will do one here. I did Thor #34. Now I'm sticking out this current run of Thor, even though Donny Cates has left. So
I'm on it too. I'm reading it.
Yeah. But it's continues from I think the last time we talked, like the last issue of Thor, was that we start getting the background of Thor and Doom beating the living crap out of each other. Well, more Doom getting the crap kicked out of him than anything else. And the beginning of where Thanos and where he gets this the image that Thor sees from the very beginning of him with holding this gauntlet of death and Mjolnir with all the other stones inserted into them. You're starting to see where this story is going and taking shape. But I think it left off with Thanos is going to stab this baby. You don't know who the baby is.
Did you say Thanos is gonna stab a baby?
Yes.
Okay.
Here
Double checking.
yeah,
Making sure.
yeah, but like, and this is all a lot of time skipping. So if you hate
Okay.
time skipping, this is a lot of time skipping crap because it's taking place in past, present. You don't see future, but it's a lot of past, and it's really out there. Doom comes out because, of course, he took that portal to get away from Thor. He starts confronting Thanos, and Thanos is like, "Oh, I remember you from the past." Even though Thanos lives in the past. Remember, he was thrown from the present back into the past. So, and Doom starts fighting Thanos. And then Thor comes around with his sister. I forget what her name is, but he's talking to his sister and she's arguing with him, trying to talk sense into him. Of course, Thor has nothing of it. He's just single-minded. He has to take care of Thanos and Doom. But Doom is actually helping in this situation because he's preventing this baby from being killed. You find out the baby is actually Hela throughout it. So it's kind of a cool little thing. While this is going on, there's like I said, there's time skipping. Well, there's that time vortex or whatever. While this time vortex is around, it actually ages the baby up to, I'll say teenage Hela at this point. So she's just teenage Hela. She barely speaks English. Thor's sister is like protecting her as Thor's battling Thanos and Doom, while Doom is battling Thanos. It's like a giant mess. While this is all happening, Jane Foster is still Valkyrie. She is trying to get Odin and Bor to kind of come together and join forces because they want to prevent all this impending doom coming. Bor actually starts going into a flashback of having met Thor in the past because time shifting. Everybody's like time traveling and this, that, and the other. It's like I said, if you hate time shifting, this is not an issue for you. I also have an issue with the art in this book. It's very, I don't know how to describe it. It's very blocky.
Like yeah. Yeah. I'll take that. Yeah.
I don't like that. That's I understand blocky for characters, like blocky for the Thing is fine. Even blocky for the Hulk is acceptable. Blocky for Thor looks weird. Blocky for Jane Foster looks weird. You can't draw them like that. It's my art teacher back in junior high would lose her shit to see like the jaw lines of these people. So it's a little weird. The book ends with Thanos and Doom getting lost in the time stream again. Thor and his sister take Hela to go meet Hela's father, Loki. And that's where it ends.
Oh, that's right. Because she's actually the daughter of Loki and Fenrir.
Yep.
Yeah. Which they did not do well in the movie verse at all.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I mean, it was cool to see Fenrir.
Yeah.
It just was like, oh, you jacked that up. It would have been way funnier if people should have been like, "Hey, Dad," and then everybody was like, "What?" Like,
Yeah, it's again, I'm s- I'm struggling with this. I think ever since Kate's got off of Thor, it's not the same.
I agree.
He's
It's
got to
not good.
stop doing
Well,
this
it's
jumping
not that
from
it's not that it's not good. It's not Donny Cates.
yeah, and he's got to stop this jumping from book to book. He can't stop. I was like, dude, if you're gonna sign on and do it all the way through, please finish this entire storyline that you set up from the very beginning for this awesome ending that we could possibly have. And you're not there to write it. You wrote most of it, but you're missing that little bit there that someone else can be like, we'll just do this and see what happens. And then when he comes back, he's gonna be like, what the F did you guys do? What the hell? Because I would imagine that would be my issue is that if I wrote comic books to be like, I started a run, I started this train going, and then I come back and be like, what did you guys do? You ruined the whole thing I set up. What the hell?
Right. Or like, oh, that wasn't what I wanted.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, my next book, keeping the
We
train
forgot
rolling.
to do the breakfast thing.
Oh yeah, shit. All
Yeah.
right, giving Danny Ketch, Ghost Rider, some cheesy eggs and one strip of bacon.
Okay. I will give
No toast.
I will give Thor 34. I'll give him 2.5 strips of bacon. Like the story is still there, and I still see where it's going. Like I said, the art was and like I said, if you're not a time skip fan and you're not following it, you're gonna get lost. So
Right.
it's but other than that, it's not bad. But if you haven't been following Thor all the way through, you're gonna you're
Not
gonna be
bad,
like, what
but
the
it's
hell?
Thor.
Yeah.
Okay. My next book, Unstoppable Doom Patrol #3. This book is just so good. Dennis Culver and Chris Burnham really know how to do it. This book takes place a little before the stuff that happened in the other two, and it also takes place before Green Lantern 1. So it starts off where Guy Gardner and Kyle Rayner are chasing after Robot Man and Negative Man, with who they've rescued someone, which I'll get to in a second. So Kyle's like, "Why do you hate these guys so much?" And Guy's like, "Well, this one time there was a painting that was eating eating a city, so it was going to be the end of the world. So the Doom Patrol went into the painting to actually fight the bad guy. The Justice League, we just stood around mostly and watched it all happen from the outside of the painting." And I'm like, I'm pretty sure that was a JLI book. Like that was an actual issue of JLI.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they're talking shit on them about how like they're trying to go into Gotham and be a team without Batman's permission and all this stuff. And cut to the car where they save this dude. So he it's a guy who has a mutant like a meta gene, but his meta gene only kicks on when a Starospore attached itself to his face. So he's not quite Starro, but he's not quite not Starro either. Like he's got a lot of Starro powers. And he calls himself Starbro.
Oh, oh God.
And then like Robot Man kind of gives him shit, and Negative Man's like, "No, man, you did the same thing to me." Because Robot Man's like, "I'm gonna call you Mason until you come up with a better thing." And like Negative Man's like, stop it. Like when I wanted to be called Rebus, you kept calling us Larry. And he's like, I did that? I'm sorry. Like it was pretty funny. So you get like a little background of Starbro and how he works and how he became a Starbro. And then like the fight happens, like where the Green Lanterns are like, give us the Starro kid because we need to stop Starro, and they're trying to get away. Like the negative spirit goes out and tries to like fuck with them to stop. They end up pushing a button on the car. The car goes into ghost mode, and they drive through a building. The Green Lanterns are like, God damn it, they're getting away. And they're oh yeah, this is a great moment where they're like, I wonder how the rest of the team's doing with their mission. And Robot Man's like taking out the guy from the umpteenth time, easy peasy. And you cut to see the rest of the team fighting animal, vegetable, mineral man. And that's right, animal, vegetable, mineral man. Who had? Here's a picture of him. Yeah, yeah. Animal, vegetable, mineral man. And if he bites you, you turn into all of those things. So apparently a bunch of people have gotten bitten and all kinds of hell's breaking loose. So they drive the kid to Smallville thinking that the Green Lanterns aren't going to go into Superman's hometown for respect of Superman. Wrong. So they get him cornered, and Mr. Negative uses the negative force to jam their rings and pretend that Hal is calling them back for a breakout at the science cell, and it really needs help. So they just take off, and you find out it was actually Mr. Negative. So that was kind of cool. That guy, the Starbro guy, in the first issue when we talked about the building and how it's all underground, and I was like, "There's some dude in a tube, like that's him. That's where he lives, and he has like psychic powers. So it's very cool. It's still very Doom Patrol. I love it. I can't get enough of this book. I can't recommend it enough. So
There you go.
cool.
All right. Well, you did your DC. I'll do my DC. It's actually like what I forgot. I looked and I thought this was on my pull list. Apparently, I did not put it on my pull list. Is the Justice Society of America. I will do
How
like
did you miss that?
I had number one and I put it there and I thought I hit subscribe, but apparently it didn't take. Because Comic Hub does that on occasion.
That's true. You're not wrong.
So I have 1 and 2. I got 3 and 4 here. So but 3 is where most of the action happens. So we find out like the future JSA is murdered by a time traveling Nazi. That's like when the first 2 issues, it was Huntress was the only survivor left of the JSA of the future, and you were trying to figure out what the heck happened.
Right.
She time travels into the past to the JSA, and it's like old school Green Lantern. Was it not I forget what the current Dr. Fate's name is.
So is it? It's Alan and Kent.
It's not Kent.
The one before him.
No, it's not.
It's not after him.
Yeah, it's the. I think he's Muslim.
The kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the Muslim.
Oh
kid.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize for not knowing his name because I do have the series. I just forget his name, and I don't want to.
Well, he's only been in like 6 issues.
Yeah, like his 6-issue minis. That was it. But she's explaining like what's going on. Um, they take she joins the JSA, the current JSA, and takes care of an army of Bizarros. Um, apparently, there's like a whole army of Bizarros they beat the crap out of. Then
Neat.
tells them the story of what's going on with this time traveling Nazi. Um, apparently, most of issue 3 is the origin of where this Nazi came from. Apparently, it was some magical circle he got stuck in, so he got shifted into the future.
Okay.
So he missed the end of the Third Reich. So he reappears in 1947, which is Germany's defeated, no Nazis like per se left, or at least in power anymore. So, but you still don't know like how he's time traveling and everything, since he's kind of by himself. But you also find out this Huntress is Batman's daughter. This
Right.
is
First two. Right. Helena.
yeah, Helena
Yeah.
Wayne, Batman and Catwoman's daughter. So
Nice.
they revealed it in issue 3 here. Like they didn't say it 1 and 2. So, but they're all shocked because they're like, what the heck? When did Batman do this? So there was a lot of joking about that. Now issue 4 is they're trying to prevent all the JSA from getting killed in the past. Deadman and Detective Chimp go see Madame Xanadu to find out what's going on. Apparently, they find out that this Nazi made a deal with a Chaos Lord. So he can't technically, like, he can return back to 1947 whenever he wants, but he could travel through time whenever he wants as well. So
Okay.
it's one of those things. He appears to the current JSA as they were talking about the store, like as Helena was explaining everything to them. He thought he'd catch him by surprise, but they were kind of prepared because they beat the crap out of him. I think Huntress even shot it like his middle finger off that had a ring that was helping him destroy the JSA. So I have to reread all of it, but so far this is kind of good. This is kind of interesting. This is a lot of time traveling, but this makes more sense because it's the bad guy is time traveling to assassinate the JSA. So, but she prevented that, but he's still, of course, trying to figure it out. But Huntress said that something else happened in the past that she has to take care of. So she goes and visits Daddy Dearest. And that is the end of number 4, is her visiting Batman. So that number 5 should be interesting, to say the least.
That's awesome.
So I'm enjoying this new GSA so far. So
that's good.
Yeah.
All right. My last one, which is more of a honorable mention, the reprint of Iron Man 1. So this is my next grail. Like the real one, that is. But I gotta pay off my laptop and my last grail. Anyway, so this is actually kind of cool because like I was just flipping through it to just kind of remember like what's in it, because I had read like a digital copy back in the day. And I forgot that Whitney Frost is in here, and Dum Dum Dugan, and like Nick Fury, and all these people. And I was like Whitney Frost, I'm like, holy shit, that's like, isn't that Madame Mask? Like later, like doesn't she turn into Madame Mask? So it's kind of cool. Like the story's kind of nice. like it's all Stan Lee written, and it's just so much of the red and gold version of Iron Man. Like that's where like I think that's the first version of the red and gold suit too. This is the first issue with it.
Is it?
Because originally I think it is because originally it was the gray like Mark One stuff.
Yeah, but was it, didn't
Um,
he get the, wasn't that in Tales of Suspense?
well, originally, yeah. Hold on, let me look it up. I might be wrong.
Yeah, I
First
thought he got his first
appearance,
red and gold armor in Tales of Suspense.
red and gold. I think if it's not the first appearance, it's very very close. So Tales of Suspense 48. So,
That's what I
which
thought.
is probably pretty close to this though, because this would have been that would have been 63, and oh sorry, 48 was in 63. Yeah, that's the one. Um, 5 years. This is 5 years later. So yeah, okay. So we had it for a while, but still, it's fucking Iron Man. It's awesome. Like if you're an Iron Man fan, that should be something that everyone or that you should own and everyone should own. So check it out.
And it's, again, it's definitely, it's, I love how Marvel is doing the reprints as close to the original as possible, but still making it different enough that scammers don't screw innocent comic collectors on eBay.
Well, I mean the biggest difference is it's modern comic size, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not a golden age or silver age size book.
And you also see the $3.99 on the cover there too of the cost. Whereas
Yeah.
original, it's those things, I think they learned their lesson from the reprint with Miles Morales there of that mistake they made.
Yeah, that's probably true. All this Archie Goodwin art is just phenomenal too. So I love it.
All right. The final one is the Darth Vader uh black, white, and red.
Mm,
This is number two. So number one we already kind of went through, and I'm I'm really enjoying this. Will be my first official buying of Star Wars comic. Like I have not bought Star Wars
really?
comics before. No. I've perused them. Like I've looked through them, but I've never bought them because I like I said, I appreciate Star Wars, but I am not hardcore fandom of Star Wars.
Fair.
I have little things here and there that I appreciate of Star Wars. So, but I figure I'd get this and start reading it again. 3 story, like all the others of this series. The first one is part 2 to the first one where Darth Vader gets captured by this I guess you could call him a bounty hunter. He doesn't really say he's a bounty hunter or not. He's just, it sounds like he's he was jealous of his father's work because apparently his father's the doctor that designed Darth Vader's armor,
Okay.
which is kind of cool, right?
I'm
Um,
intrigued.
yeah. So they have Darth Vader paralyzed. They said the only thing they do is kept his brain functioning so he could feel all the pain that they're about to put him through because they were basically going to try to basically strip him like RoboCop 2, which I saw last night on Tubi. I forgot how disturbing that was. But anyway,
Oh, you mean when they like rip him down?
yeah, when
Like,
they strip him.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then I'm watching, I'm like, that's America in the next 5 years if things keep going. Only we don't have cool RoboCop. Anyway, back to the story. As they were about to tear him apart, all of a sudden they can't cut him open. Something stops them as they're doing it. And all of a sudden, the saw that they were going to use turns around backs and starts lopping people's body parts off. They're trying to shut down the lab and everything. They're like, the door's closed and I didn't close them. And it's just Vader doing his Sith Lordy thing without moving a finger. He has literally killed everybody in the lab, just sitting still on the table, strapped down, paralyzed. Now the kid or the bounty hunter gets away, but they're going to try it again. But Vader's literally controlling the entire building, so this should be interesting to see what happens for part 3 of this. I love this story. This is a really cool, like, shows you how badass Vader is story. It also gives that little bit of background that we didn't know who designed his outfit. And this, that, and the other. And that's kind of a cool little tidbit there that we've never gotten in the Star Wars universe before.
I was gonna say, I think I'm more interested in that part, just to find that part out, than anything else.
Well, if you remember from the first part of the story, he killed his dad. So
Oh, right.
you're never going to find out like the whole story unless they do a whole story about it, which I'd be kind of cool to find out on that. But yeah, it's it was kind of a cool opening story there. The second story is Vader and a bunch of clone troopers are on this ship, and it's like a dead space type ship. They don't know what's going on. All of a sudden, one of the stormtroopers like, wait, something's got me, and you see this thing wrap around his legs and pulls him away. This is kind of very alien-esque, because they find out all these monstrous aliens taking over the ship. They are all of a hive mind, so we're digging into a little bit of the X-Men Brood type thing going on.
Okay.
You find out the Queen is a scientist that genetically engineered herself to turn into this. Apparently she wanted to unite the galaxy through transform them all into giant bugs. I think that was convoluted, but she wanted Vader to join as a little Sith minion. And of course Vader's like, yeah, that's not happening. You don't know the power of the dark side. He just pretty much slaughters the whole hive, beats the crap out of her. She stabs him through the chest with a stinger, and you see him like he rips the stinger out of his own chest and just kind of goes like, "Huh." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to take care and make sure you don't reproduce." He, with his force powers, he forces the entire ship to crash land to a planet. The whole ship's destroyed. Everybody's dead except Vader, who walks away. And I'm like, okay. I'm like,
it's a very Vader thing to do.
Yeah. I was like, okay, cool. The third one is a little bit of interesting one. You see this kid, of course, on a desert planet, because where else in Star Wars you have to have all these deserts planets, trying to help his sick mother by selling water throughout this village. Ends up going down a street that's apparently run by a bully, like a couple of years older than him. Basically beats the crap out of the kid, destroys the equipment that was holding the water. Typical bully thing to do. And the kid's like, well, why are you doing this? And the bully's like, oh, all you need is power. and I have the power. This street's mine. This village is mine. Blah blah blah. And he's like, it's not yours. It's the Empire's. And he's like, I don't see any Empire, representatives of the Empire here to tell me otherwise. Yeah, be careful what you wish for there, because next thing you know, Vader and the stormtroopers come into the village and just start wreaking havoc. Apparently, they were looking for rebels, and turns out the bully, his parents and him are rebels.
Imagine that.
Yeah, so Vader takes care of him.
Mhm.
But he sees the kid holding on to his sick mother. And I think this is where you see a little bit of that Anakin humanity peak every once in a while. Vader just kind of gives him a signal and leaves. Now, as you see at the end of the story, you see the whole village is decimated. But the kid is just mesmerized, and he's like, the bully was right. All you need is power. And you see this kid kind of saying it with a smile on his face. So there's a very disturbing end to this, but I think all these are very disturbing in their own way there. But I'm really enjoying these Vader mini stories with this, though. These are really good.
That's awesome. All right. It's the only other stuff we can really talk about here to kill the last 10 minutes. So there was an announcement the other day where Image is now going to be distributed through Lunar primarily.
We could always discuss: is this the end of Diamond? Is this where Diamond's gonna die?
Firstly, like, as a retailer, now that Image Comics will be released on Tuesday, and that's not starting right away, by the way. Like, this is like August that starts. Lunar is the better place to go because we get our stuff faster, like in earlier, because they have an earlier release date. They also have an earlier FOC day, which kind of sucks. But I am more curious to see how this affects Diamond as a whole. And what I mean by that is, so Image was like the last big publisher holdout, right? They're number 3 or 4 or whatever they are. They're in the top 5 for sure. And when DC left and then Marvel left, Image, Tom McFarlane said, we're never going to leave Diamond. And now here we are a year or 2 later, and guess what happened? So part of me is wondering if Diamond is going to try to turn themselves into more of like a toys and statue distributor and get away from comics kind of pretty much together, or just be like a secondary option for people.
I was going to say that's not necessarily a bad thing.
It's not, but the bad part is it's like they don't have good margins on the toys they're getting currently. Now, does this open up a way for them to order more of that stuff and get a better discount, and then stores carry more stuff? Or is this going to be like the death knell? The other option, the other question to pose, and I only say this because, like, out of sheer curiosity, like, I have no idea what behind the scenes. I have no kind of crazy insider track. Everything we're saying is speculation. But part of me is like, does Jeppy's kids just like not want to do that part of the company anymore? Or like, do they make that decision together when they make offers and counter offers? Like, is Steve just kind of like, is the company just kind of stuck? Or like I'm more curious to know what's going on there than I am with anything else. Because like, we all saw Image go into Lunar at some point. Because Jeff Stagg, who ran Image for a long time, moved to take over Lunar, and I was like, it's just a matter of time before they go. You watch, it'll happen. and then it happened. So I'm curious to see how everything will play out. I know there's some retailers that are happy. There are definitely a lot that are not happy. So guess we'll see.
Well, as someone this is not my forte in the comic world. You're probably closer to it than I am. Is there anything Diamond can do to redeem themselves, so to speak? Can they straighten their out if they want to? Like you said, we don't know if they're just like, you know what, it's better for us to do toys and statues than do comics.
I don't know. I mean, they also have like the Jeppy family brand of entertainment is a ton of stuff. Let me pull it up. Jeppy Family Enterprises, and it is Diamond Comics, Diamond Books, Previews, Gemstone Publishing, Game Trade Magazine, Diamond Comic Distributors, Baltimore Magazine, Alliance Game Distributors, Diamond Select Toys, Gentle Giant Ltd, Art Asylum, Previews World, Sapphire Studio, Game Trade Media, Diamond International Galleries, Hakes Auctions, E. Gerber, CGA, VGA, AFA, CDA, PCA, which are all abbreviations for Video Game Authority, Action Figure Authority, Collectible Doll Authority, which I didn't even know existed, Diecast Authority, Iron Guard Supplies, but they also are the guys that do Free Comic Book Day, Comics Fest, local shop finder, kids comics, bookshelf, Scoop, and Overstreet Access.
Do you think that means, since they are involved in a little bit of everything, it seems like, are they going to start getting to the grading game now? Since grading now, whether we like it or not, is irrelevant. It is a part of comics currently. Like, it is big part of the boom that was big part of this boom from, the last 5 years or so at least. Even though I know they were slabbing for the last 10, but I know video games are now being graded. Action figures are graded. Cards have been graded since forever. But since they do die cast and, like you said, dolls, is it something that they could stick their head into and be like, well, if CGC can do it and they're down in Florida, and CCBS can do it and they're in Texas, and PGX can do it. I don't know where PGX is from, but I know PGX is the third big company, which actually I could probably do it for my house and be better than PGX, to be fair. But but do you think they throw their hat in a ring, something like that, and be like, hey, they're making tons of money on books being sent vintage, modern, what they charge for signatures and verification, all that stuff.
I hope not, because I don't like grading, and I also think that the grading bubble is bursting. I think because we're already seeing a lot of those prices come down.
That's just on the modern-y stuff and the variants, but
nope, it's all over.
I was gonna say
the books that were gonna keep climbing kept climbing. Everything else has started to come down. Yeah. Literally everything.
But I know a lot of the big books are still graded, is still the way to go. Like 181, I don't see a bubble bursting on 181. It's one of those books.
I'm not talking about books like 181. I'm talking about 184. Or 175. Those
like I said,
it's in that era but they're not, or I should say like Hulk 40, right? So it's after the peak at the beginning, but it's not quite where like the Wolverine chunks are, and it's that in between. So like that book 3 years ago would have been probably almost twice what it is right now, because everybody went nuts and wanted everything graded. They literally graded everything, and then they went, "Oh shit! Now nothing's worth anything," and
Yeah.
it's all starting to come down. You can see it, like pull up GPA, you can see the analysis. Everything's coming down. The raw books, on the other hand, are staying the same or going up, which is nice. So we'll see. We're not this. That wasn't the conversation we were having anyway.
Yeah.
But
Like I said,
I am.
I know your thing is like you're not a big fan of grading. I'm not really a big fan of grading myself. Like I like things graded for my own personal thing. I'm not one of these guys that get everything graded and then like, oh, look what I could sell on Macari and eBay and whatnot and stuff like that. I was never that kind of person. That's not the way I collect. That's not the way I, you know, sell things on my off time. That's not me. That's, I'd rather be like, okay, I got this and I thought I would get into it. But like, yeah, I'm not into it anymore. So I'm just gonna sell what I'm gonna get for it, But that's,
Right.
I get your thing, but I'm thinking if the idea popped in my head as you were describing all the stuff that Diamond's involved with.
I
And
just
it,
don't
it
think
seems
they will.
like it's a logical step in
I
my
don't think they
head.
will. I think they're gonna back out. I think they're gonna back. I think they're gonna. I think they're gonna shift if if they pull comics completely, which I don't think they ever will. I think they're gonna shift more of their toys and game stuff. I think they're gonna focus on that a little more. Try to get better deals for that to be a bigger part of it, because Alliance is a big part of their stuff. So,
Yeah.
and Diamond Specs are a big part too. And I'm wondering if a lot of this came from like when they had that partnership with GameStop that failed, right? So
I think a lot of things in GameStop have failed.
just throwing it out there.
Just saying
Throwing it
it.
out there.
All right.
So, but all right. Well, thanks everybody for watching. Make sure you tune in next week. We're gonna have Comicsburg here. And then also get your tickets for Three Rivers Comic Con. Come see both of us. Give us high fives. Tell us how much you love the show. It's a great time. We've been hearing from you in the stores, and I love it every time.
Yes.
Every time I love it. It's great.
And
So
what,
keep it up.
I
What?
was gonna say, come see us Sunday. Sunday,
Oh,
not
yeah.
Saturday, Sunday.
Sunday.
We will both be there, selling stuff. I also want to thank the guys at Pittsburgh Comic Show this past weekend.
Oh yeah, it was a great show.
It was very, very, very nice, with the exception of a certain young lady who tried to be giant Karen to every comic vendor 3 times her age. That would be,
I must have missed that.
you were eating at the top, you were eating out at the truck. That's what everybody got in trouble for, quote, eating in the thing, which
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, right,
yeah,
right,
yeah,
right.
she went full Karen. So
Well, to be fair, everyone was already told. All the vendors were told.
Yes,
It was in
yes.
multiple emails. So
yes,
she did not go full Karen. She went full like she went full actual manager. And
yeah,
there's a difference. So
yeah. But I think the fact that she eyeballed everybody, we're like,
hey man, if
I'm not doing
if
anything.
somebody tries to pull shit and you want to make sure they don't, you got to watch them for a while. What I always tell people, the best deterrent for theft is kill them with kindness and watch them. Watch them. All you gotta do.
Yeah,
You can
I
stand
think
through.
I think she forgot to kill him with kindness part though.
Yeah, but I loved it when she was like up in the
Yeah, she's
crack up
watching
all
us.
the
I even told the
Great.
guys there, I was like, I felt like I just got yelled at by my principal in high school. Like the whole class got in trouble. That's that's the feeling I got when she was yelling. And I didn't even do anything wrong. I had my bottled water and that was it.
All good.
But
All
I
right.
also want to
Thanks.
thank the guys at Watchtower Comics.
Watchtower. Yeah.
Watchtower. Got I know we talked about grading, but I saw this and like you said, the prices are going down for certain things and goddamn light. It's like bouncing off right there. I got the Salmon number 8. It's an 8.0, which like I said, I don't care. It presents beautifully and I know why God made O, but first appearance of Death. And I got it for just under 100, so I can't complain.
Not bad.
I cannot complain on that.
Cool.
So,
Well, all right, guys. We'll see everybody next week. We're gonna try to get some sleep so that we're not totally tired for next week. So, and we have a long day tomorrow, so it's gonna be fun.
yeah.
All right. Talk to everybody later. Thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.